How much do you feel like playing at Oklahoma State prepared you for what you're going to see here at the NFL level?
Prepared me a lot, just how we did things, how the culture was at Oklahoma State, and you can kind of just attest to it. We got a lot of guys that, came from Oklahoma State that's in the league currently playing and just sticking around just because of just hard work and just things like that, things of that nature. So I feel like being at Oklahoma State really helped me, prepare me for this.
It's fascinating because I feel like it's hard to block out the noise, but do you feel like people forgot how good you were in the beginning of the year, last year? You just started getting a lot of buzz toward the back end of the draft process to where you ultimately got selected.
Yeah, every day, I just try to take it day by day and just focus on me and, during that pre-draft and, just stuff like that and not worry about the outside noise, just keep working and stuff like that. And so that's kind of what I did, and it came, people started to kind of, get a little buzz and stuff like that, so it was fun. But yeah, I just try to keep my head down, just work day by day. Yes, sir.
Is there anything that's happened in this, since you've been with the Giants that has maybe you didn't anticipate or surprised you? I'm sure you were prepared for a lot of it, but something walking in here, meeting somebody, something you were like, wow, I didn't really think that was going to happen.
No, sir, not yet. The biggest thing that I'm really thankful for is I got some friends that's in the league, like I said. So just during that pre-draft training and stuff like that, I was able to really talk to them, and they kind of really prepared me for just this and being able to just to know what to expect and stuff like that. But on draft day, I did get a call from Russell Wilson, so that's that was a big thing. But other than that, no, sir.
What was that call like for you?
Oh, it was, just amazing. Just, you get a call from a random number, a FaceTime call, and then you see him pop up on the screen. So it was just, it was cool to, cool experience. I even put my little brother on the phone, but it was a great experience. Yes, sir.
You're going to make a transition now from this camp to then next week you get into phase 2, and you're going to look around the locker room, and these guys are your teammates, and like you said, Russ, and I'm sure there'll be a bunch of other guys that you recognize, and maybe there was a time where you'd be a little in awe of them. How do you go from being in awe to make sure, I'm going to be a good teammate, and I'm going to learn from these guys, and we're going to be peers rather than,
Well, just really, yes, sir, just really understanding that, now this is a profession, and, this is a team now, and I'm just a part of it. So I'm really just ready to learn, get to work with these guys. And like you said, just guys that's, like you said, Russell and things like that, they got experience, so they can really guide me. And so that's really what I look forward to, is just, learning from those guys and just being able to really, just get experience off of them and work with them for sure.
They kind of ping-ponged you around the secondary at Oklahoma State. How you think that transition is seamless here at the NFL level, where everything is kind of played right in the middle?
Yes, sir. Just because, what do you mean by ping-pong? Just around the field?
Sometimes you play on the boundary side.
Oh, right, yeah. Side. So that was a big thing in college. I got college coaches and stuff always reminded me, in the league, the hashes are about this big now. So it was just it's a new thing to see, on the field, but, just try not to make it too much of a difference. But, just also understanding as well, things are different as far as, the offense of how they would attack you, because you're really just always to the field. So learning that, yes, sir.
This is a young secondary you're kind of walking into, so do you kind of feel like you guys are going to have a chance to kind of mesh well because age-wise you guys are closer, some guys have been in the league for a while?
Yes, sir. And I'm just ready to, get in there with the guys and, learn from them, because they do got experience. They're talented as well. So I'm just ready to get in there and learn from them and, just get as much information as I can from those guys.
But the age won't be an issue because they're closer to you guys, right?
Oh, no. Not that I know of. Yes, sir.
Are there any similarities between, I know it's early, but between what Nardo kind of had you guys doing at OSU versus what, you've seen on film, what Shapo wants you guys to do?
Yes, sir. It's a bit of a similarity just with, also with nose defense as well. So I'm able to kind of just pick up on things and just think of things of how it was in college, just different terminology. But yes, sir, I've been able to kind of pick up, and that's really helped me as well, just to be able to, put things in compartments with the playbook. Yes, sir.
Have you talked to Thomas about him being a tattoo artist?
No. But I heard about it, though. And I seen his leg tattoos. It's cool. Yes, sir.
What's your learning process? Like, how do you learn the defense? Because out there they just gave you some regular vanilla stuff,
Right.
and you about to get into the gist of the playbook next week,
Yes,
and
sir.
then you're going to learn more in training camp, and then the season every week is different with the game plans.
Yes, sir.
What's your learning process of how you consume information?
But right now, like I've been told by lots of people, my friends and stuff that are in the league, find a vet or just find somebody that's been there and kind of just learn from them and kind of not learn from them, but just pick up on how they do things and how it's easier for them, and then just pick out parts of what could help me and how I feel like I learned the best. But just so far, like I said, I've been kind of just putting things together from college. Like this is similar to that, so just different terminology and things like that, thinking like that. But just with the older guys, I'm just trying to find somebody, find a vet and pick up on their schedule on how they learn.